Hi, my name is Lee Tolton, and this is,
Joe Tolton.
and we're the pastors for West Elkton Friends, and we're coming to you via YouTube today because it's not safe to meet with other people because of the pandemic. And this is December 20th, 2020, so a lot of 20s this morning. And we just thank you for joining us. And the message today is on the narrative of the story of Jesus. Now, the kids nowadays are so like faith and science, and we've set up this unfortunate thing that if we believe in science, some people believe we can't have faith. But I want to talk to you about how this story, this narrative of Jesus being born, can be applied to your life. And one of the things that we have to look at is like um, actually being real about what it means to talk about Jesus in a stable, in a manger. What is that about? And also, we need to look at how the shepherds not only were scared, but were they were dedicated. They did follow through. And there's a lot from the story we can take and apply to our spiritual lives. Because all of us can be startled. A friend of mine was coming through the hallway the other night. I had forgotten it was late at night. I was coming out of the bathroom. She was coming around. She's a wonderful friend. I'm really glad she was here. And I got scared. It really startled me. So I yelled. Yeah. So yeah, that was it was startling, but it was good. Sometimes even good things that we're not expecting can leave us feeling a little overwhelmed. And we hear about Jesus being born in the stable. We're talking about Luke 2. And there were shepherds in the field. They were watching their flocks. And these angels appeared to them and scared them. Well, then they were told what they needed to do to go find the Christ child, the Messiah. And that is important because so many times we just feel like we're supposed to be trying to find the divine, but we don't have a clue how to get there. And the shepherds were told, this is what you need to do to get there. And it's important to us to know that we can find the divine. We all sing the songs about these angels. One of them that I love having sung in our meeting because some of the younger members just really get into it is the angels we have heard on high. And just watching their faces light up as they think about those angels is something wonderful. But let's look at what it would have really been like to be these shepherds, to have angels show up in the middle of the night. We've got the writing of it comes from Luke, the second chapter, 8 through 18. And we all know these verses by heart. We've heard them so much. But the shepherds were in this field watching their flocks at night, and an angel appeared and told them that they were going to get to see the Christ child. And then a lot of angels appeared and started singing to them, and then they were told to go find the Christ child, who would be in a manger, which is a trough, a food trough, wrapped in swaddling clothes. Those would have been the pieces of material that they could find where people would get the water and dirt and such things off of their animals. So they took the swaddling clothes and wrapped Jesus up, and they said, you're going to find him. Now, imagine this. Imagine you're just a shepherd, you have no education, you're not looking to be disturbed in the middle of the night, and an angel shows up and tells that you are going to find this divine, wonderful child. But that child is going to be in a stable, not in a house. And that child is going to be wrapped in swaddling clothes. He's going to stink. He's going to be put in a food trough, which is not sanitary. And that's where you're going to find the divine. Well, think about that, because that's where you have to find the divine. Some of us have tried to fathom this story so many times, and it seems to be very unbelievable, because if we were told you're going to find this Messiah, this king that's going to take you out of your bondage, but to do that, you're not going to find him in a palace. You're not going to find him wrapped in gold. You're going to find him in a stable, in a manger, in the trough for these animals, and that child's going to be wrapped. And a lot of times we think, well, that's outrageous. We just not going to wrap our heads around that. That's too silly to believe. And sometimes we have gotten set up, unfortunately, where we are taught, well, you either believe science or you have faith. And what I believe, and what many of us believe, is that you find the divine in everything, in science, in the goodness. And this is a narrative about finding the divine in the most unexpected place. We can refuse this choice between belief and science. And one of the things we can do is actually make the story matter more. Rather than just, well, I'm going to believe this and it's going to be historical and I'm going to say that all science is set to this. Or I'm just not going to believe it at all. And that's the options that we've given this new generation, and they've said, well, I'm not going to believe it at all. What if we offered a third choice? What if we said, here is this narrative, it is wonderful, what can you learn from it? So let's look at those shepherds and see what we can learn from it. If a large number of angels surprised this group of shepherds and started singing to them and telling them where they could find their Messiah, it would have been startling. It would have been stressful. And even though, yes, it was beautiful, but even beautiful in the middle of the night when we're asleep or we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, like they were watching their sheep, it would scare us. Even the good things can make us feel unsure. Right now, the idea of miracles like this is exactly what we want to hear. We were told that there would be a miracle cure for this pandemic, and finally this week they're rolling out the vaccines for it. Sometimes we have to strive for what is beyond what we think is normal. We have to look at what's outside of what we think is supernatural. We have to be able to look at what's going on and step out of our boxes of what we believe in and what we think is real, and think about what in the world we could do that would be different. And these shepherds were told, oh, this is totally different. You're not sitting here in a field all by yourself anymore. There are hundreds of thousands of angels singing to you. You're not just watching your sheep, and don't you know those poor sheep would have been traumatized. But if this had been something that happened right now, we would write an FSS, like a feared shepherd syndrome. It would be the feared shepherd syndrome. Oh, we know what's wrong with you. Life has given you this wonderful turn. It would just frighten the person that you are. It would completely rock your world. But right now, when people have had family members die, when they've been extremely sick, when their businesses have gone under, when they feel like there's no cure for this horrible disease, they want to believe in a miracle. They need to believe in a miracle. And we shouldn't be taking that away from people. We shouldn't be telling them, oh, get a grip. Reality's okay. You just need to hang on to it. I don't think so, because we all need to have hope. And if that's what it takes for them to have hope, that's what's important. We want them to stick with us and know that no matter what's going on in this world right now, we're going to be there for them. And so we have to be open and loving to people who may believe things differently than we do. But when life catches you by surprise, when something just happens to you, there's stress that gets involved in your life. Even when it's a good thing, there's stress. But this story of the shepherd tells us how we can take that. If something stressful happens to us and is asking us to change, then maybe we can do that. Maybe we can change. Maybe we can think of something new in a situation. This year has been like nothing we've ever experienced before. But if we look at it and look at what we learned, look at the good that came out of it instead of just focusing on the bad. And the shepherds could have said, I was watching my sheep and these angels came in and they disturbed me, and then that's it. Wait till they're gone and we're going to go back to watching our sheep. I can't believe they were that rude. That really felt uncomfortable. And we can get all I feel, instead of thinking, okay, well, this is an opportunity. This is something that can help us to move forward. So maybe life has surprised us with something. Can we do what the shepherds did and go try to find the divine in it? Can we try to find the divine no matter how stinky the cloths are? Can you try to find the divine no matter if it's put in a feed trough? Can you find the divine? Can you seek Jesus? Can you seek the good out of this life? Can you seek the good in all others? When you do that, you're doing what the shepherds did. You're saying, yeah, this was a little scary and spooky. I get that. But you're also saying, but there is the good in this that I can learn. I get to actually do something wonderful. I get to find the Christ child. And day after day, Jesus is somewhere in this world that we just need to think outside the box to get to. There is the divine. There is the divine in everything. And we just need to seek it. But these shepherds didn't give up. So if every time something unexpected happens to us, if we look for the lesson in it, we'll quit being so bitter. This is a bitter, bitter world. People feel sorry for themselves a lot. I can be included in that too. And right now, yes, things are bad. I'm not saying everybody should go, everything's good, and then just ignore it. But even though it's bad, where's the good? Some of us have been quarantined with our families, and it has been wonderful. Some people have lost jobs they hated and found one that they liked. You know, it's just these things that where we can seek the good, just keep pursuing this peace. You know, in the Bible, in Luke 2, it says that the shepherds said, let's go. Let's go. We're going to go to Bethlehem. Let's confirm what the Lord has revealed to us. Okay, well, let's go. Let's go. Let's go seek the divine. Let's go. We can find something wonderful out there. It doesn't have to smell like we thought it was going to smell. It doesn't have to look like we thought it was going to look. It doesn't have to be in this place that we thought it was going to be. These shepherds, I'm sure, were told that Jesus would be born to someone like Herod and put in the palace. They were very confused because that's how they had interpreted the scriptures, which we all do, misinterpret things from time to time. But they just ignored all that and said, oh, okay, let's go to Bethlehem. Let's confirm what the Lord has revealed to us. Let's all do that. When we do that, not only will this Christmas, which I hope you have a very Merry Christmas, but we'll be able to see other, like life giving us the wonderful divine presence, the wonderful divine gift. We just have to go and do what the shepherds did. We have to say, let's go. Let's get this. Merry Christmas.